dark side of Santa. It is the most recognizable uniform on Earth. The red velvet coat, the black leather belt, the white beard. For billions of children, it is the ultimate symbol of safety. He is the only stranger we allow into our living rooms while we sleep. The only strange man we happily let our children sit on. That trust is absolute, and that is exactly why it is so dangerous. What happens when that suit is worn by someone who doesn't come to bring gifts, but to settle scores? What happens when the perfect disguise allows a monster to walk right up to your front door? Welcome to the Christmas special of The Deep Dig. Tonight we are turning off the fairy lights. We are digging into the subterranean history of the holiday. We will uncover the story of the Santa Claus lynched by a mob in Texas. We will reveal the historical truth that the real St. Nicholas was a man who threw punches. And we will revisit Christmas Eve, 2008, when a knock on the door in California turned a family gathering into an inferno. Get comfortable, but maybe lock your chimney. Let's dig. The saint who threw hands. To understand the power of Santa Claus, we need to strip away the Coca-Cola marketing. We need to go back to the source. The real St. Nicholas of Myra, living in the 4th century in what is now modern-day Turkey, was no soft, jolly grandfather. He was a bishop in brutal times. And there is one story that Sunday schools rarely mention. The year is 325 AD, the Council of Nicaea. The room is tense. Bishops from across the empire are debating the nature of Jesus Christ. A priest named Arius begins to speak. Nicholas listens, and then he stands up, walks across the hall, and punches Arius square in the face. Yes, the man who inspired Santa Claus assaulted a priest during a church council. He was stripped of his robes, thrown in jail. Legend says he was divinely forgiven, but the truth remains. Our symbol of peace was born from a man who believed violence was sometimes necessary, and others would later use his image for something far darker. The Santa Claus Bank Robbery, Texas, December 23, 1927. The town of Cisco is wrapped in holiday spirit. Walking down the main street is Santa Claus. Children run up to him. He smiles, hands out candy. This Santa is actually Marshall Ratliff, and he's using the ultimate psychological weapon. Nobody suspects Santa. Ratliff walks into the First National Bank. The tellers smile until Santa pulls out a .45 caliber pistol. 3 accomplices follow, but the robbery goes wrong. Civilians grab rifles, shotguns. The town responds. A Wild West shootout erupts. Santa Claus is firing at civilians. Civilians are firing at Santa. Ratliff uses 2 little girls as human shields, but they forget one thing: gas. The getaway car is empty. Ratliff is captured, and the people of Cisco are furious. They storm the jail, drag Santa into the street, and lynch him from a telephone pole. This remains the only recorded moment in American history where a mob executed Santa Claus. Stolen Christmas, when Nazis rebranded Santa. We have seen that Santa Claus can rob banks, but what happens when an entire regime tries to steal Santa himself? In the 1930s and 40s, Nazi Germany faced a problem. Christmas was the most beloved holiday in the nation, but in the eyes of the Third Reich, it had a fatal flaw. It was Christian, and it centered on Jesus Christ, who was Jewish. That did not fit Hitler's ideology. So the regime did something extraordinary. They didn't ban Christmas, they rewrote it. The Nazis launched one of the strangest propaganda campaigns in modern history. They renamed Christmas Julfest, a celebration not of birth or peace, but of the winter solstice in so-called Germanic purity. Saint Nicholas had to go. He was too Christian, too compassionate, too foreign. So they replaced him with Odin, the pagan god, rebranded as the solstice man. He rode a white horse, he wore a gray beard, and instead of toys, his sack carried symbols of nationalism, blood, and strength. Imagine the scene: families gathered around a Christmas tree, not topped with a star, but with a swastika. Children singing songs not about a silent night, but about racial destiny. It is a chilling reminder. Even the most innocent traditions can be weaponized if a regime has enough power, and if people stop questioning what's really inside the costume. Santa Bill, the JonBenét Ramsey's shadow. Boulder, Colorado, 1996. The murder of 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenét Ramsey becomes the most infamous cold case in American history. But one figure lingers in the shadows, a man known as Santa Bill. Bill McReynolds was a retired journalism professor, but more than that, he was obsessed with Santa Claus. He didn't just play Santa, he became Santa. He lived the role, studied it, protected it. Just days before the murder, Bill was hired to appear at the Ramseys' Christmas party. Witnesses later described his interaction with JonBenét as intense, uncomfortably intense. He gave her a card. Inside was a message: "You will receive a special gift after Christmas." JonBenét was murdered on the night of December 26th. Bill McReynolds became a prime suspect. He had an alibi. DNA would later clear him, but the coincidences were disturbing. And until his dying day, he kept a vial of glitter. Glitter JonBenét had given him that night. Was he the killer? No, but the image remains. An elderly man, obsessed, grieving, hiding behind the mask of Santa Claus. It proves something deeply unsettling. Even when no crime can be proven, the costume can still hide something profoundly disturbing. The Covina Massacre. What happened in Texas was chaos. What happened in California was planned. Bruce Pardo was an aerospace engineer, quiet, intelligent, divorced, angry, broken. He decided to cancel Christmas forever. December 24th, 2008, Covina, California. A Christmas Eve party. 25 people, music, laughter. At 11:30 p.m., there is a knock at the door. An 8-year-old girl opens it. She sees Santa. She smiles and says, "It's Santa." Bruce Pardo pulls a gun from the gift box and shoots her in the face. She survives, but the nightmare has just begun. He executes 9 people, then ignites a homemade flamethrower. The house becomes an inferno. Taped beneath the Santa suit, $17,000 in cash, a plane ticket to Canada. This was not madness, it was a plan. The explosion melts the Santa suit to his skin. He dies hours later. This is the darkest Santa story ever recorded. The mistake that created NORAD. After that darkness, we need to breathe, because sometimes light comes from mistakes. In 1955, a Sears advertisement printed the wrong phone number. Children called Santa. They reached the Nuclear Defense Hotline. Colonel Harry Shoup answered, and instead of panic, he played along. He tracked Santa on radar. A tradition was born. These stories teach us something simple. Symbols are empty until we fill them with intent. The Santa suit can hide a hero or a monster. The magic was never in the costume. It was always in the person inside. Thank you for joining us for this Christmas special of The Deep Dig. Stay observant, stay warm. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.